Mira and Arav met at university. They were both studying business and were in the same class. From the very first day, the bond between them grew rapidly. For 4 years, they lived their university life to the fullest, studying together, exercising together, working part-time at the same cafe, and even sharing the same apartment. For Mira, Arav wasn't just a boyfriend, he was her first great love. She had opened her eyes to love with him and grown up by his side. When university ended, they wasted no time and got married. Both found jobs in the same industry, though at different companies. The first year of their marriage was like a dream. Two young people, full of love and hope, made plans for the future, took long walks, shared household chores, and carried the weight of life together. And one day, Mira got pregnant. At the end of that year, they held their son, Milan, in their arms. Life felt complete. But when Milan turned 1, everything began to change. Mira continued working while also taking on the responsibilities of motherhood almost entirely on her own. She would pump her milk, take the bus home during her lunch break to feed her baby, then rush back to work. In the evenings, she cooked, kept the house in order, and cared for Milan. Arav, however, was no longer the same. He stopped helping with chores, didn't spend time with his son, and often came home late from work, sitting in front of the TV with his phone in hand. At night, he argued with Mira and then fell asleep on the couch. Mira couldn't make sense of this change. How had the man who once embodied love and trust turned into this stranger? Her trust in Arav was so deep that even doubting him felt like betrayal. But the uneasiness inside her kept growing. One evening, while Arav was taking a shower, she couldn't resist and looked at his phone. There were love messages, romantic poems, and searches like sexual compatibility between Aries and Libra. When she confronted him, Arav denied everything. After that day, things got worse. Arav put a password on his phone, started coming home late more often, stopped wearing his wedding ring, and disappeared on weekends, claiming he was on business trips. The doubt inside Mira became unbearable. One day, Arav said, "I'm going to New York for a client meeting." Mira was surprised. "That's not even your region of responsibility," she said. Arav replied, "My manager asked me to go," and left the house. But at the end of the month, when Mira checked the credit card statement, she saw that the ticket had been bought to Boston. That evening, when Arav came home, she questioned him. This time, he said, "I went on a short trip with some friends. I just forgot to tell you," and brushed it off. Mira wanted to be sure. Days later, she accessed Arav's email account and found multiple messages sent to the same address, along with several money transfers to the same bank account. She patiently continued gathering evidence. Finally, one night, she discovered a message exchange with someone saved as Sam. The message read, "Baby, could you be pregnant?" Mira's world collapsed. She investigated the number. Soon she found out that the number belonged to a woman named Mary Nolan, a married woman whose husband's name was Paul. Arav had saved his secret lover Mary under the name Sam. With great courage, Mira contacted Mary's husband Paul. She shared all the evidence and told him everything. When Paul learned the truth, he was devastated. They both decided to file for divorce, but to win their cases, they needed more proof. Mira and Paul, both broken and betrayed, began working together. Mira couldn't sleep at night. During the day, she went to work. And every evening when she looked at her son's face, her eyes filled with tears. One night, she had a breakdown. She argued with Arav and shouted everything she knew in his face. "I know everything, Arav. It's over. I'm divorcing you," she screamed. Arav lost his temper and, unable to control his rage, hit her. That night, Mira took her son and left the house. The next morning, she went to the hospital and got a medical report documenting the assault. She was determined to end this nightmare. She met with a lawyer, explained everything, and began the legal process. She was no longer just a betrayed wife. She was a strong mother fighting for her son's future. Mira drew a curtain over every memory she had shared with Arav in that house. The home that had once been full of love was now silent. But Mira knew some silences mark the beginning of a woman's rebirth.